Structural and functional adaptations in mammals. First, about the integument and its derivatives. In mammals, the skin is thicker and it consists of two layers, like epidermis and dermis, like all other vertebrates. But in mammals, epidermis is thin and also consists of hair. Presence of hair is the unique characteristic of mammals. As the skin of mammals is more in contact and use, especially the skin of palms and soles, so it is made up of keratin. Keratin is a type of fibrous protein. Along with skin, nails, claws, hooves, and hair are also made up of keratin, a fibrous protein, important for MCQs. Next, about the hair of mammals. First of all, about the whales. In whales, hair are modified into few sensory bristles and are present on snout. About the hair follicles are epidermal in origin. Important for MCQs, hair follicles are epidermal in origin and these hair follicles sunk in dermis but is epidermal in origin. And hair grow continuously due to proliferation of cells in follicles. As in mammals, true hair are present. True hair are composed of dead keratin-packed epidermal cells. These hair make up the pelage of fur coat in mammals, and there are two kinds of pelage. First kind is of dense and soft underhair. Second, coarse and longer guard hairs. Underhair provide insulation and longer guard hair provide protection against wear and also provide or give coloration to the mammals. Next, about the aquatic mammals like fur seals, otters, and beavers. In these aquatic mammals, guard hairs become wet and adhere. So in this way, the guard hairs, after becoming wet and adhering with each other, they provide protective blanket over the underhair. And in humans, hair can shed and replace throughout the life. Next, about the molting. In mammals, the shedding and replacement of hair is known as molting. First of all, about the foxes and seals. Foxes and seals undergo molting in only summer season. Next, about the mustelid carnivores like weasels, they undergo two moltings, one in summer season and second in winter season. In summer season, they develop brown pelage, while in winter season, they develop white pelage. White pelage provide camouflage. And white fur in mammals is due to leucism, in which recessive genes blocks the formation of melanin. Melanin is responsible for the dark coloration of hair. Melanin is a pigment that gives a darker coloration to the skin and hair. Next, about the snowshoe hare of North America. It undergoes molting for 3 times annually. First, it develops white pelage in winter that is replaced by the brownish gray pelage in summer season, and it is replaced by the grayer coat in autumn season. Next, about the Arctic mammals. They have winter coats, they have dark eyes, and they have more hair on the ear tips, nose, and tail tips. In some mammals, the pelage also provide or form the salt and pepper coloration or disruptive pattern, like spots of leopards, fawns, spots of leopards, fawns, and stripes of tigers is the example of salt and pepper coloration or disruptive pattern that is only due to pelage colors. Next about the skunks. Skunks has a pelage that gives or forms or provides the warning coloration. So skunk's pelage is in the form of warning coloration. Next about the modifications of hair. In some mammals, hair are modified into different forms like bristles, spines, vibrissae, like bristles of hogs, spines of porcupines, and their kin. Kin means relative. Vibrissae are also known as whiskers. They are actually sensory hair. They receive the tactile stimulation. They are long. Vibrissae are long in nocturnal and burrowing mammals. Nocturnal mammals are those that are active at night time. And next about the spiny armors. Hair are modified in spiny armors in porcupines, hedgehogs, echidnas, and other mammals. Next about the North American porcupine. It is very interesting that how porcupines have modified their hair and what advantage do they take. North American porcupine turns its back toward the attacker, lashes out with its barbed tail, and barbed tail has lightly attached quills. Quills are modification of hair that are present in porcupine. So it turns its back toward attacker, lashes out with its barbed tail, and these barbed tails have lightly attached quills that break off at bases and enter the skin of the attacker, added by backward pointed hooks at their tips. But some mammals like fishers, wolverines, and bobcats have abilities or adaptations. These three mammals, fishers, wolverines, bobcats, can defend themselves. Not only can defend themselves but can also attack the porcupine. How? Actually, fishers, wolverines, and bobcats have ability to flip the porcupine onto its back. So in this way, the vulnerable underparts of the porcupine are exposed, and so they can attack porcupine on the vulnerable underparts, and in this way, porcupine can't attack. Next about the horns. Very much important for MCQs and interview, difference between the horns and antlers present in mammals. Horns are present in the members of family Bovidae. Family Bovidae like antelope, sheep, cattle. Horns are actually hollow sheets of keratinized epidermis. What is horn? Horn is hollow sheets of keratinized epidermis that embrace a core of bone arising from skull. Second important point about horns is this, that horns do not shed. Horns are not branched, but they may be curved. They grow continuously. And horns are present in both sexes, males and females. Next about the antlers. Antlers are present in deer family, Cervidae. Now, antlers are branched. They consist of solid bone when mature and annual spring growth. They develop beneath a covering of highly vascular soft skin, and that is known as velvet. Solid bone when mature and annual spring growth. Antlers show annual spring growth and develop beneath a covering of highly vascular soft skin known as velvet. Before fall means winter, breeding season, blood vessels constrict. Male remove velvet. How do males remove velvet? By rubbing on the trees, by rubbing their head on the trees. So they shed their antlers after breeding, shed after breeding, and then new birds appear a few months later. And new pair of antlers can be larger and elaborate than the previous pair. And during growing season, an older moose or egg accumulate 50 or more pounds of calcium salts from its vegetable diets. During growing season, an older moose or egg accumulate 50 or more pounds of calcium salts from its vegetable diets. Next, about the pronghorn horn that belong to family Antilocapridae. They have true horns of bovids, except the keratinized portion is forked and shed annually. Pronghorn belong to family Antilocapridae. They have true horns of bovids, except the keratinized portion is forked plus they shed annually. Next, about the giraffe horns. Giraffe horns are similar to antlers but retain their integumentary covering and do not shed. Next, about the rhino horn. They consist of keratinized filaments that arise from dermal papillae cemented together but not attached to the skull. So these three animals, pronghorn, giraffe, and rhino, have different types of horns. So this was the detail about the difference of the horns from the true horns and antlers. Next, about the derivatives of epidermis. Derivatives of epidermis. First is the sweat gland. About the sweat gland. Sweat glands are tubular and highly coiled glands. They are of two types, eccrine and apocrine. First, about the eccrine. Eccrine sweat glands produce watery fluid, and this watery fluid evaporate and provide cooling effect. And they are mostly present in hairless region like foot pads, and in horses and most primates. In horses and most primates, they are present over the body. In rodents, rabbits, and whales. Rodents, rabbits, and whales, eccrine sweat glands are reduced or almost absent. Next, about the apocrine sweat glands. Apocrine are larger in size, and also they are longer and more convoluted than eccrine glands. Apocrine glands secretory coil is in dermis. The secretory coil of apocrine gland is in dermis and extends deep into the hypodermis. And these apocrine glands open into hair follicles. So this is the difference between the eccrine and apocrine glands. Apocrine glands are larger, longer, more convoluted, and secretory coil is in dermis that extends deep into the hypodermis, and these apocrine glands open into the hair follicles. And Apocrine glands. One more important point about apocrine is this, that they develop near puberty. And in humans, apocrine glands are present in axilla, also known as armpits. Axilla or armpits, mons pubis, breasts, prepuce, scrotum, external auditory canal, and apocrine gland produces milky fluid, whitish or yellow in color, and it dries on the skin and form a film. And their activity of apocrine gland is correlated with reproductive cycle. Next, about the scent gland. In deer, they are present in orbital, metatarsal or interdigital region. In pica and woodchuck, scent glands are present behind eye or on the cheek. In muskrats, beavers and most canines, scent glands are present on penis. In wolves, foxes, scent gland is present on base of the tail. In dromedary, means camels, the scent glands are present on the back of the head. In skunks, minks, weasels, scent glands are present in the anal region, and these anal region scent glands are more odoriferous and open by ducts through anus, and their secretion can move at a distance of 2 to 3 meters. And these mammals use their scent glands in the breeding season for attracting opposite sexes, for communication, for marking territorial boundaries, for warning, and for defenses. So, importance or functions of scent glands is using their secretion during breeding season for attracting opposite sexes, for communication, for marking territorial boundaries, for warning, and for defense. Second type of glands are sebaceous glands. Sebaceous, sebum. Sebum means oil. They are present near the hair follicles. Some are free and open directly onto the surface. These cells are secreted in their entirety and are continuously renewed by cell division. And cells become distended with fats, die, and expelled as greasy mixture that is known as sebum. And in case of humans, sebaceous glands are present on the scalp and face. And this is also known as polite fat. Why the secretion of sebaceous glands or sebum is also known as polite fat? Because it does not turn rancid. It is also used for dressing. It is also used as dressing to keep skin and hair pliable and glossy. So that's why sebaceous gland secretion, that is sebum, is also known as polite fat, because it does not turn rancid and it is used as dressing to keep skin and hair pliable and glossy. Most mammals have sebaceous glands on their entire body. The next type of glands are mammary glands. Mammary glands are present in females. They are active in females, but they are rudimentary in males. In embryos, mammary glands develop by thickening the epidermis to form a milk line along each side of the abdomen. On certain parts of these lines, mammae appear. They increase in size at maturity, pregnancy, and during nursing. In humans, that was about all vertebrates, but in humans, Adipose tissues develop in the breast region, and humans also have nipples, but the order Monotremata, members of order Monotremata, monotremes lack nipples. They do not have nipples like echidnas or duck-billed platypus. So their milk is released onto the fur of the mother's belly. So the babies of monotremes lick the milk through the fur of mother's belly. That was all about the adaptations of mammals, structures and hairs, integument.